Mom, thank you for taking the time to interview with me. I'm very excited. I chose you for this interview because you're one of the 5 people, actually what I identify as the 6th person, but that's fine, who knows me best. And I have a few questions to ask you about my strengths, skills, and abilities, as well as the way I manage my emotions. And I have identified what I believe are my 5 greatest strengths and skills. And so I'll be asking you questions, and then I want to compare the difference at the end of this interview. So my first question to you is, what do you think is unique and valuable about my knowledge?
Unique and valuable about your knowledge. Well, I think that you're very intuitive, and I think that from the time you were a young child, you had an ability to grasp and catch on to things before you were even really thoroughly taught them. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one thing that amazes me about your knowledge is that it covers a lot of different areas. It's vast. You're knowledgeable about many different things, and that's amazing to me. Have I answered the question thoroughly enough?
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you. So, what do you think is unique and valuable about my learned skills and my natural abilities?
Let's see. As an educator, I'm not sure if I would say it's totally unique, but your learned skills are accompanied by a great deal of rigor and discipline. And, I say it's not unique because as an educator, I see students like that.
Right.
But it's the model student, it's the model student that is willing to accompany acquiring knowledge with great rigor and discipline. And then you said about your learned skills and about your natural abilities?
Yes, exactly.
There are 2 things that come to my mind. One is intellectually, you were gifted from the time I could hear you talk. Intellectually, you just were inquisitive and hungry to learn and caught on quickly. But it's accompanied by a beautiful optimism that you have. And the optimism that I've seen in, not even just intellectual ability, but in athletics even, that optimism, to me, has helped take you maybe even a step further than the natural abilities carried you.
Right. I agree with that. Okay, so the last question, next to last question. What do you think is extremely valuable about my emotions or the way I handle or approach emotion?
Well, I think that what I've seen in you is when this pressure is on, and even when it hurts because the pressure is on so much. And you've gone through a lot of pressure for a young man with all of the multiple responsibilities that you carry. You have a way of feeling the pressure and understanding how much is hinging on certain things in the moment. But at the same time, I've seen you have the ability to stay focused, even though it's very uncomfortable, and ride through it to the other side.
Wow.
And if that's not enough, please rephrase your question.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so now I want to read you what I put as my top 5 strengths or abilities or ways of managing myself. And here they are in order. The first one, I said, the most glaring abilities that I possess are analytical abilities. And they cover a wide variety of subjects from investment, corporate finance, pure mathematics, and critical reading to things like economics and situational analysis with people or in a business setting. The second thing I put was the first thing you said, which is that I'm extremely intuitive, and that comes with learning 30% and being able to apply more than what I've learned, or extrapolating out the principles I've learned to take them to the next level of applicability, or understanding what the true underlying principles are that are being communicated, even if people aren't trying to communicate certain things. So it has to do with perceiving emotions, intentions, and also picking out what the real things are that are going on, the real things that truly have meaning, even in something like an article, picking out what, penetrating the veil, if you will, of things that people say and things that people write and do. The third thing I put was that the personal time that I have invested in learning has created a compounding effect with my intuition and analytical abilities. The fourth thing I put is that for a decade now, I've been absolutely grinding, whether it be being a 3-sport athlete and working relatively hard in 10th grade, or working my butt off my freshman year of college, or now being a father, husband, more than full-time worker, and then student for 8 to 12 credit hours every semester. The fifth thing I put was the last thing you said, which was, I don't flunk under pressure, I flourish. So those were the 5, and I feel like you really covered every single one of them except for my analytical abilities. But I feel like
yes, I did not use that word.
Right, but I feel like you definitely connoted it in my intuitive ability to analyze and to learn quickly and then apply knowledge. So would you feel like my explicit commentary on analytical abilities warrants a place in your list of 5, or deserves any color relative to what you've already said? Or would you kind of leave your top 5 unchanged?
Did I name 5?
I don't know, but it was basically 5 things, we'll call it.
Okay. Um, I think that you have very talented ability to analyze situations and circumstances. And I just didn't think of that word to use. So, yes.
All right, great. Well, that's the last question that I asked everyone, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me, Mom, and for
My pleasure.
answering me and encouraging me, and I really appreciate the honest, open, authentic feedback and love in your tone of the interview too. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, sweetie. I'm so proud of you. You're such a gift.